if you're going to buy passive speakers, then you're going to want to buy a separate amplifier. So I have two amplifiers here for comparison again. So I have your home stereo amplifier and your professional DJ amplifier. There's three major differences here. Your home stereo amplifier has what's called a radio tuner built into it. Your professional DJ amplifier does not have a radio tuner. Obviously when you're doing gigs you're not going to need to play the radio at all. The second difference is the home stereo amplifier vents from the top of it. There's a vent on the top here and the heat comes out of those vents from the top. In your professional DJ amplifier your vents are on the sides, so the heat will vent throughout the sides. The other major difference is the plugins on the back of the amplifiers. A professional DJ amplifier would not have all these connections on the back like the home stereo one does. These connections would be on your mixer. Now the reason you don't want to use a home stereo amplifier when you DJ is because the home stereo amplifier will heat up a lot more than the professional amplifier. Now wattage for wattage, power for power, they both will do the job, but the home stereo amplifier will heat up more, and after playing it for 5 or 6 or 7 hours, then it'll cut out. And the last thing you want to do is have your music cut out right in the middle of a gig. One thing you're going to want to have on the front of your amplifier for sure is a peak light. A peak light is going to show you when the amplifier is being driven too hard. Now let's talk about wattage. This amplifier I have here is a 400 watt amp. The speakers I showed you a moment ago was 150 watts. Now this is total 400, so that would be 200 for the left side and 200 for the right side. You don't want to have speakers that are too high of a wattage over what the amplifier is. That's because you're going to stress out your amplifier too much. If you buy a 1000 watt amplifier and have a 500 watt speaker, so that means you would have 500 for the left and 500 for the right. That means you would be matching the wattage of your amplifier to the wattage of your speakers. Now if you say you want to match it, you want a 1000 watt amplifier and 1000 watt speakers, well, it's like I said, it's a 1000 watt amplifier, so that means 500 for one side and 500 for the other side. That means you're only driving 500 watts of power into a 1000 watt speaker. That means you're stressing your amplifier out too much. So you want to have the amplifier about the same, if not a little bit more than what the speakers are. So if you buy a 1000 watt amp, that's 500 a side, so it's recommended that you buy 400, 450 or 500 watt speakers. I don't want to spend a lot of time explaining this stuff because it gets really complicated. So if you want to know more about wattage or ohms or RMS or that kind of stuff, go to Google and type in wattage of amplifier versus speakers and you'll learn all about that kind of thing there.